I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, and I'm not saying that in a bad way.
Welcome. Here we go. It got really windy out, and there's supposed to be a storm coming through. I probably should have opened one of those windows and let some of that wind in here. I don't know if it would help or not. It's very, very warm. Hey, welcome, everybody. It's that time, except it's a little bit of a different time, but it is that time for Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. That first hour was not live. That was a best of Matt Connarton Unleashed because I am here an hour late. I apologize. It was completely beyond my control, unfortunately. But I did get approval to go 5 to 7 p.m. today. So I will be doing a full 2-hour show. In fact, here's what's going to be happening at WMNH 95.3 FM this evening. I will be here live with you until 7 p.m. And then from 7 to 9 p.m. will be the great Kyle Heavey with Off the Mark Sports. He will be live tonight from 7 to 9. So that's what's happening here. So welcome, everyone, to Matt Connarton Unleashed on WMNH 95.3 FM, as well as Comcast Channel 97 if you're in Manchester, New Hampshire, streaming at WMNHradio.org and on the Facebook, on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. And, of course, you can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all your live streaming options and social media links and contact info and show archives, etc., etc. And hello to our friends at Raw Talk Online. Hi, Charles, if you're listening. I will be talking to Charles later on, but we'll get to that. Today is Wednesday, June 30th, 2021. Tomorrow will be July 1st. Well, I guess you probably already knew that, but just amazing how quickly the summer is going by. I know we still have, all of July and August left, but still. Summer is my favorite time of year, so I wish that in the summertime, time would just kind of slow down. Although, the heat does make me panic. Did I mention yesterday on the show multiple times that it was, I think, 108 degrees in a city in Canada recently? It's not good. Anyway, but I don't want to get back to that. There is much else to discuss. But, so that's what's happening today here at WMNH. I'll be here today 5 to 7, and Kyle Heavey will be live from 7 to 9 with Off the Mark Sports. Now, when I finish here at 7 p.m., I have to go upstairs to the production studio anyway to upload my show. So while I am up there, I will be connecting to the Charles Richardson Show, which is, of course, every Wednesday and Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m. But Charles wants me to connect for a bit because tonight on the Charles Richardson Show, he will be joined, and as far as we know, it is happening, he will be joined by Crazy Joe. This is going to sound wild, but this is true. Crazy Joe has a representative named Jonesy, a guy who helps him, a friend who helps him. I talked to him once. Very, very nice man, who apparently had contacted Charles to see about booking Crazy Joe on the Charles Richardson Show. And Charles said, yes, absolutely. And Jonesy confirmed today with Charles. So that is happening. As far as we know, that is happening. So I will be on. I'll be connecting through my computer. And Crazy Joe, I assume, will be calling on his cell phone, since as far as I'm aware, that's the only piece of electronic equipment that Crazy Joe can actually use. So I know I keep saying that I think the Crazy Joe saga is finally over because, he's been He's suffered another ban on Facebook, which is why he's not posting any new videos and so on. But every time I think it's done, what's that song? Fool if you think it's over. So, but don't worry, anyone. I know some of you are tired of Crazy Joe. We're not going to talk about Crazy Joe today after this on this show today. But I just wanted you all to know, for those of you who are still interested in the continuing story of Crazy Joe. Oh, Charles says, Charles is in the chat room. He says, let's not hype it too much. Who knows if he will call in? That's true. Crazy Joe. He's unpredictable. Sometimes he zigs when you think he's going to zag. Sometimes you think he's just a little weird and different, and he turns out to be a terrible racist and anti-Semite and homophobe. So you never know with Crazy Joe. But we'll see. But anyway, so that is the plan that is on the docket for tonight. And then also another programming note, tomorrow night after this program, I will be appearing on the Dr. Kevin Show, as I do the first Thursday of every month. On the first Thursday of the month, I finish this show, and then I call in. We do that show via phone because it's right after mine, so I can't get to really it's hard to get to a computer right after that, but I mean, I can use this computer, but I just call into that show. I don't know why I'm explaining that part of it. I never usually do. But anyway, so tomorrow night at 6 p.m., immediately following this show, I'll be calling into the Dr. Kevin Show, which is on the Ohm Times Radio Network, and that's Ohm, O-M, as in Ohm, ohmtimes.com. And the first Thursday of every month, we have a discussion from 6 to 7 about politics and current events. So I always look forward to that. So lots going on this week. Thursday on this show, Easy G will be in for his entertainment report. And then Friday on the show, we will be joined by Gracie Gatto, who hasn't been on the show in a while. She's a political activist, and she's been on the show a couple times before. And she's bringing someone else who will be joining us. I was going to see if I could find it quickly because I forget the gentleman's name, but the founder of New Hampshire Politics, or NH Politics. So lots going on. So a very busy day, and I had to rush to get here for 5. So if I'm a little underprepared, forgive me. But you can call us at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connarton, or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And of course, you are free to interact and opine in the Facebook Live chat. But the best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is to give us a call at 603-250-6007. Also, I want to remind you, we are proudly sponsored by the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan at 1000 Elm Street, right across the street. They have delicious gourmet pretzels. They have craft beer. They have wine. Every Thursday night, Bill Cini does trivia there. Bill Cini, who also does trivia on the morning show. But Thursday nights, he's at the Hop Knot, trivia at the Hop Knot. Very, very popular. Friday night, of course, our friend Grant Lampton plays at the Hop Knot from 7 to 9 p.m. Does a great job. Grant was here yesterday as his, well, I shouldn't say his alter ego, because Grant Lampton is his alter ego. His real name is Mike Sudderth. When he's here to do his weekly Tweakonomics segment, he is Mike Sudderth. But Friday nights, he's Grant Lampton, and he plays at the Hop Knot from 7 to 9 p.m. So be sure to check that out. Of course, they do Sunday brunch. They've got a lot of great things coming up this summer as far as events. Juneteenth was enormously successful. I don't know if they'll ever be able to top that, but it's such a great place, great food, great service, and a wonderful family that owns and operates it. And we are so honored and privileged to continue to have them as a sponsor. Speaking of Friday nights, by the way, Friday nights, I am here at WMNH for Retro Spectrum Radio, which is Friday night from 7:30 p.m. all the way to 10 p.m. And this coming Friday night, Paul E.C., of course, who is the host, and I'm one of Paul's co-hosts, along with our friend Dan Randlett, and we will be joined in studio by the great DJ Stephen Light from the old Happy Wheels days. And the subject on the show this week, we're going to be featuring hit songs by major artists that you might not know are actually cover songs. So there you go. So now I did ask Paul the other day, by the way, if there would be any Kiss featured on the show Friday night, and he said no. So I am very sad about that, but I'll be here anyway. You know, Kiss is my favorite band, and there actually are a couple of songs. You know, Back in the New York Groove, which is actually from Ace Frehley's first solo album. Not everyone realizes that's a cover. That's technically a cover song. Also, God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too. There's a reason there's a number 2 at the end of the title. Kiss did not write that, although they did rewrite some of the lyrics. But it was actually a band called Argent who recorded God Gave Rock and Roll to You, and then Kiss recorded God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too from the second Bill and Ted soundtrack. So there you go. We have our first call of the show today, and there's no one there. Very good. All right. Well, if you'd like to call us, you can. 603-250-6007. Not everyone is successful at calling the show. Some people try to call and then they give up too quickly, or I don't know what happens. But 603-250-6007. Let's say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat. I'm sure some people are a little confused why they got the notification at 5 instead of 4. Oh, when we have a call, we'll try this again. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hello, Matt. This is Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Gene Simmons of Kiss. Your ears must have been burning, or perhaps your tongue. I was just talking about you.
Actually, Matt, I've been listening for about 20 minutes now, and I heard what you were saying.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I also wanted to dedicate my next song to you, Matt.
Oh.
You know, I'm a brilliant songwriter, and I have a song on the table.
Wow.
You've inspired me.
Oh.
It's calling Dr. Cream. Calling Dr. Cream, and that song will be dedicated to you, Matt, because you are Dr. Cream.
Well, thank you, Gene Simmons of Kiss. This is all very flattering, and I must say a big surprise. But I do have to ask, and I am genuinely terrified that I'm going to regret this terribly, but why do you associate me with cream?
Well, didn't you want to call yourself Mr. Cream earlier today?
Oh, yes, you were referring to the best of Matt Connarton Unleashed that played in the 4 to 5 p.m. slot. And, well, I was temporarily Mr. Cream while wearing the Creamland shirt.
I see.
But I've gone back to just being plain old me.
Well, despite what it is, best of or current or new on the air,
yes,
Matt, you're always going to be Dr. Cream now. That's going to be your mascot name for Kiss.
I genuinely don't know how to feel about it, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
You should be flattered, Matt.
I am. I am flattered. You're my favorite. You're my favorite bass player.
I thought Paul was your favorite, Matt.
I said you're my favorite bass player. Paul is my favorite. Paul is my favorite member of Kiss. Paul is my hero.
I forgot what Paul played.
Really? Wow. Well,
It's been a while, Matt, because of this pandemic.
Yes.
We haven't been touring much, except for Bosnia, wherever it was that
Bosnia,
we performed last.
Yes, Bosnia. How was it there? It must have been hot. It's hot here. I can only imagine how hot it was in Bosnia.
Yeah, it's really hot out there, Matt, but as you know, it's Bosnia, so, who cares?
There was just a flash of lightning here.
Yes, I saw that here too, Matt. And believe it or not, I'm in Hooksett.
Oh, wow. You're in Hooksett, New Hampshire, Gene Simmons of Kiss? What are you doing in Hooksett?
Yes, I'm going to a book signing over at the Applebee's.
At the Applebee's? Wow.
That's right.
I hear thunder. Oh, boy, we might get knocked off the air. What are you going to do then, Gene Simmons of Kiss? Will I still be Dr. Cream?
You'll still be Dr. Cream in my heart. And if we do go off the air, I will just sit down at my desk and continue writing songs.
Okay. Oh, that's fantastic.
But in the meantime, Matt, the reason why we're not on Retrospection Radio this Friday night is because I don't know that we had any songs that were, aside from God Gave Rock and Roll to You, of course.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There were no really other songs that we covered. You know why, Matt? Because I'm a brilliant songwriter.
Yes. We
didn't need to cover anyone except for Kiss.
Right. Right. Well,
you know who we cover, Matt? We cover Kiss.
There is Gene Simmons of Kiss. I don't know if you remember this, but from the 1980s, there is a bootleg of I don't know why this occurred or why, because you have so many songs that you've written, but you guys were covering Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who for some reason, and it sounded fantastic. You and Paul split up the lead vocal. I don't know if you remember that, but it's great. But it's, it's only it's only available live. You guys never actually recorded it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, we try not to discuss that day. We had a big fight.
Uh-huh.
Ace and Peter were there, and they were arguing as usual. And
this was from the 80s. This was Bruce and Eric were in the band, not Ace and Peter at the time.
Ace and Peter swung over to the recording studio.
Oh, they did? Okay. Well, no, it wasn't in a recording studio. It was a live concert.
You see, Matt, that's what you don't understand. What I'm talking about really happened. We were at the studio in what year was it? 1988. And we were recording Animalized. And
wow,
Ace and Peter showed up.
Uh-huh.
Ace, of course, was wasted.
Yeah. I realized...
And Peter was just whining about wanting to do Tossing and Turning live in the studio.
Tossing and Turning. I realized that you're in your 70s now, Gene Simmons of KISS. So you get these things all jumbled up in your head because in terms of timeline, none of what you just said makes sense, but that's okay. You're older and you're going to forget things.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll happen to you too, Matt. As the years go by, you'll forget which order the KISS albums came in, and you'll be sitting there with your friend Dan going, no, it was Destroyer and then Love Gun.
Mm-hmm. Hope I die before I get old. Speaking of The Who.
That's right.
It was Destroyer and then Love Gun. You're right.
That's right. Well, of course, I know that. I'm Gene Simmons of KISS.
That's right.
I wrote both of those albums.
Well, you had help, but other people wrote them with you.
So they say, man. So they say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, very good.
Okay, Matt. You have a good day, and just remember, God did give rock and roll to you. Gave rock and roll to everyone. Thanks.
All right, Gene Simmons of KISS. Be safe. Wow, always wonderful to hear from Gene Simmons of KISS. There was a lot there. But yes, no KISS Friday night on Retro Spectrum Radio. It's very, very sad. Let's see. I think, let me give the numbers again, and then we will say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat. 603-250-6007. If you would like to join us, although it's hard to follow Gene Simmons of KISS. 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connarton or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And, of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. And there's a lot of folks in there today. Some are probably a little confused as to why the show started at 5 instead of 4. But these things happen. But we'll be here till 7, so you're still getting a full show. But we'll say hello to everybody in there. Dirk Don of Arrogant Media liked the that was in the best of that was playing during the first hour. When, Q, our old friend Q, used to call into the show on a regular basis. When he wasn't busy fighting the deep state, he would call into the show. And Mark Smith from the Abstract Transmissions podcast was here with us in the studio that day. And he was the one who said, you got the internet to Q. Dirk Don liked that comment a lot. Stacy Lawton joins us in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Stacy. Dirk says, as much as I dislike communism, that caller is a moron. That, of course, referring to Q, not Gene Simmons of KISS, of course. I don't believe Gene Simmons is a moron or a communist. Rob Dion, who is a top fan, joins us in the chat room. Rob says, afternoon, everyone. Rob, of course, is part of the WMNH family. He is the entertainment reporter on the morning show every Thursday morning and does he brings in the keyboard and they do Name That Tune. And he's also the host of Through the Stage Door here at WMNH. Christian Lacoste is in the chat room. Christian, of course, also known as DJ Reckless and Also a very, very busy young man. Dirk is feeling the hype for the Charles Richardson show tonight. DJ Midas is in the chat. Midas is a top fan and also part of the WMNH family. Host of Late Night Delight, which airs every Saturday night from 12 midnight to 4 a.m. with a replay on Sunday. And Midas is doing a residency at the Central Ale House on the patio every Sunday from 3 to 8 p.m. Yeah, Charles was saying earlier, let's not hype it too much. Who knows if Crazy Joe will call in, but all signs are a go for tonight. Dirk Dion says, too late, Charles. I feel it in my bones. Mike Pelopita joins us in the chat. Mike says, hello, everyone. And Mike is, of course, from another one of our wonderful sponsors here at WMNH 95.3 FM, Queen City Cabinetry in the historic Sunbeam Mall. Big supporters of the station and of the shows on the station. DJ Reckless says, I have some big news for July 4th. Well, spill the tea, DJ Reckless. I think the young people say that now, right? They talk about spilling the tea. I don't drink tea myself. I'd probably end up spilling it because I'm a klutz. And apparently I'm a klutz at saying klutz. And I don't like tea. Dirk says, hell yeah, Dr. Cream Unleashed. Mike Pelopita says, traveling down River Road, head over near the river, I believe. Rocky Huber is a top fan in the chat. Rocky says, I like the late hour. I can get used to this. Well, I can't. So, like I said, today was beyond my control, but we're not going to. Oh, I hear the EAS is going off again. Okay, there we go. All right. So I guess that does still go out on the live stream too, not only on FM. I'm never sure about that because it's weird because I can't actually hear it in my headphones. I hear it coming from someplace else, but I don't hear it in my headphones. So therefore I'm like, wait a minute, is that going? I don't know. I know it goes on no, it doesn't go on the recording, but it does go out on the audio stream. I don't know. It's all very confusing. Charles Richardson in the chat room says, Gene Simmons, wow. Hey, Gene, how is Richard Simmons? I don't think that they are related. But Simmons is a very common name. We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
It's Christian.
Hey, Christian, what's up?
What's up? You want the tea? Well, you're the first person to find this out.
Oh.
You and everyone else.
Well, yes.
But I just scored a residency Sunday at Central Ale House, right after Midas, from 8 to 1.
Oh, congratulations. That's fantastic.
Sure.
Every
We're
Sunday?
doing Latin music and top 40 and hip-hop.
Very nice. Very nice. When does that start? Does that start this coming Sunday?
Starts July 4th.
Excellent. Wow. That's going to be huge. Good for you, man. That's great.
I know, man. 4 shows in 2 days.
Oh, that's big. That's wonderful. Now, will you be on the patio like Midas is, or will you be inside?
Yep. Weather permitting.
Weather permitting. Okay. Fantastic.
I'll be on the patio again tonight, too, once this weather clears up around 8 o'clock, too. I'm going to play Central Ale House.
Oh,
Till
excellent.
10.
Oh, good. What time do you start? Oh, just 8 to 10?
7 to 9, but I'm probably not going to get there till 8.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I'm not trying to go out in this weather.
Right. Well, you don't want the big hail.
Yeah, they said golf ball size hail. Is that what they said?
Golf ball size hail. You don't want none of that.
Because I can assure you with the amount, like the heat, there ain't going to be no hail. That'll melt before it hits the ground.
I don't think it works that way.
It doesn't?
I don't think so. No.
I didn't pass high school, so it's okay.
Right. I did, and I don't think it works that way. I think the hail falls, and no matter how hot it is, you got some incoming hail. You got to take cover. It's not going to melt. It's going to hit you in the head and give you a concussion. Did you know that every year at least 1 or 2 people in the United States are concussed by golf ball size hail? Did you know that? And
Only 1 or 2?
And nobody talks about it. Why is there not more awareness of this? I'm serious.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to raise.
I know they're gonna put up some hashtags.
I'm going to raise money for this, for awareness of whatever you would call that.
Okay.
All right.
I'll let you do that.
I'm going to start it someday.
All right.
Where are
But
you?
yeah, no, I wanted to call in and tell you about the residency.
Yes.
I'm really stoked about this because I'm playing right after Midas.
Yeah.
So it's literally, it's a party. It's a party.
Yep.
All right.
That's great. Good for you, man. You're going to do great. Congratulations. That's huge. That is huge.
And you know, I fought for this.
Yes, you did.
I went back and forth with these people for like 2 weeks. To get this going.
Exhaustive negotiations. Exhaustive negotiations that you went through.
Yep.
Yes. Very good. All right.
But yeah, I can't speak English today. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
I'll clear the phone line, so yeah. Do your thing.
All right, Christian, DJ Reckless. Thank you so much for the call.
Thank you, man.
All right, man. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Now, he's doing so great. That's huge. He's going to be at Central Ale House every Sunday night from, what did he say, 8 to 1? That's great. That is fantastic. Excellent. I can tell you, he lives with Jenny and I. He's been working really, really hard. So that is awesome. Well, that opens up a line for you, 603-250-6007. But we'll finish saying hello to everyone in the chat room. Midas in the chat says, Gene Simmons of KISS needs a Facebook page. Miriam Banish is a top fan in the chat and says, good evening. Hearing thunder here in Bedford. Apparently, as is Dan Lavasser, who's also a top fan. He says, kaboom. Let's see. Rocky Huber is in the chat and says, Matt, have you apologized to Matt and Jenny's audience? Wait a minute. I'm confused. Oh, I think he's saying that to Stacy. Have you apologized to Matt and Jenny's audience? You did have some not so nice words to say to us. I know Jenny and Matt accepted your apology, which is cool, but don't accept the viewers to accept it. Ah, okay. Well, that's up to Stacy if she would like to address the audience with that and respond to that, Rocky. But yes, Jenny and I have accepted Stacy's apology and we've made amends. I do know there's a couple of guys. Now I'm not gonna be specific because I did give someone my word that I would lay off. I had a long conversation with someone from Michigan on Monday about this, but there's a couple of guys who are very upset, apparently, that we've made amends with Stacey Lawton. But I'm glad about it. I think it's a great thing. Well, anyway, all right. Give us a call if you'd like, 603-250-6007. There is big news today. I hadn't planned on talking about this, but former U.S. Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld is dead at age 88. By the way, he had the distinction of being both the youngest and the oldest Secretary of Defense to ever serve. He was the youngest when he served in the Ford administration, and then the oldest when he returned for the George W. Bush administration. But we have a call. Let's grab this. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt. It's Stacy down in Nashua.
Hey, Stacy.
Hey, so I just wanted to give you a call because as you know, I'm listening. And, yes, I apologize to you. I hadn't apologized to the listeners or the audience, and I do feel bad. I guess I just haven't found a way to articulate it appropriately. But I also, in keeping with a lot of advice that was given during the time when I was, listening in the past, a lot of the fine people that come on your show recommended, keeping things, in the past, the things that happened, they happened, and trying to just move forward and not trying to discuss them, continuously like we had been. It was like when I would call in or we would just discuss things. We were just beating a dead horse, the same things over and over. And whether I was accused of self-promoting or whether, it was a scandalous activity, whatever it might have been, I guess the best place for those incidences is to leave them in the past and, give a blanket apology and just move forward. I've moved forward, and it appears you, Matt, have moved forward, and I appreciate that. And I guess I can't force any listeners or viewers to move forward, but I hope they would. But if they don't, that's their personal choice, and we still move forward regardless.
Sure. Absolutely. By the way, Miriam Banish is in the chat room, and she says, Stacy still has me blocked. Why is that? Oh,
I didn't even know that she was blocked. I can look at my block settings because I remember beginning of the year we had that the great unblocking, and there was a couple of people that were blocked, but I think I had left people alone from the station. But yeah. I have no problems with Marion. Marion always was a very kind-hearted person, and I will check my Facebook settings just to make sure because that she doesn't deserve to be blocked.
Yeah, I think Jenny might still be blocked too, but you'll see that when you look. Yeah, Miriam says I'm all for giving more chances. Absolutely, life is too short for grudges and all of that. So.
And I appreciate that. And while I have you on the air, I did want to just say I did apologize, just for your listeners anyways, I did apologize to Matt. And I didn't want to even go into detail as to really why I was apologizing, just that it needed to be said. And I felt really bad about the things that had gone down. And so, I'm sorry to everyone, and I'm sorry to you, Matt. And I'm just happy that, you accept my calls, and happy that we're moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Definitely. Excellent.
So everyone, hey, 4th of July is coming. I hope everyone has a great 4th of July, and I'll talk to you all soon.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you for the call, Stacy.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. That is Stacy Lawton from Nashua giving us a call. That opens up a line for you, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. Yeah, I was supposed to go on a podcast Monday night, and we were going to do some healing and forgiving and all that kind of thing, but that didn't work out. Wasn't my call. But I'm not going to get into any details about it because I told somebody, I gave somebody my word. I would leave it alone. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Matt?
Yes?
I'm so sorry about everything.
Oh, wow. Somebody else is apologizing now.
I throw myself at your mercy.
Is this Tony D?
What?
Is this Tony D?
No.
Oh. Who is this?
It's your adversary tonight. You ready? You got your vitamins ready?
Oh, it's Crazy Joe. Wow.
Right on.
Wow. All right. So you're going to be calling in to the Charles Richardson show?
Absolutely. That's why I'm calling your show, just to advertise it.
Okay.
I am not going to be called a coward or a chicken crab.
Okay.
So I'm ready. You
okay.
sound like you're a little intimidated.
I do I? Why would I be intimidated?
Yeah. I mean, you've been so brave, with your videos and everything like that. So get ready to take on a real New Yorker tonight, buddy.
Okay. Well, I'll see you there.
That's it? You got nothing else to say? You scared?
Why would I be scared?
Because you would be more talkative.
I don't know what I'll see you there. I don't know what else to say about it.
I mean, this is what you wanted, right?
What? What exactly?
Well, to have I was just going to talk to Carl, but you want to join in, so this is what you wanted. I mean, we're doing what you want. You should be thanking me.
Oh, really?
I mean, you're going to get more fame out of this because of me, and I don't even get a debt of gratitude.
Well, I did say thank you to Charles for inviting me.
Yeah, but you're supposed to thank me because of me, I have increased this might be temporarily, of course, but I've increased your audience participation by at least 100%, and I also have to thank you because you've increased my Crazy Joe Show page by 150%.
Wow, that's that's a lot of numbers. I'm not good at math. Now, someone in the chat room is asking, so what did you say the name of the show is that you're calling into? You know the name of the show, right?
It's hold on. It's Carl Richardson. No, I'm sorry, not Carl. Charlie Richardson Show.
Charlie Richardson Show. You're getting...
No, not Charlie. Is it Charlie? Wait, hold on a second. I got to go with my notes here.
Getting closer.
I know. Oh, I'm sorry. The Charles Richardson Show. Because I know Charlie didn't have a certain ring to it.
Right.
It was like off base. I knew I was saying it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think of this other guy named Carl Richard Show.
Uh-huh.
He was a buddy of mine. He was a country musician that knew
Carl Richardson.
Willie Nelson personally and actually opened up for him.
Wow.
So I get them confused. The names are very similar.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
But, man, I gotta hand you one thing, though.
Uh-huh.
You're very cool under pressure.
Thank you.
And you say that you don't let things bother you and
right.
Life is too short for grudges and all this kind of stuff. I kind of tend to agree with that.
Yeah. Well, you know.
And I think that you're right.
Well, I've said all along, I'm not really angry at you. I'm just very deeply disappointed.
I think it makes both of us, and I think we'll clear everything up tonight, possibly. If not, then, But I like your style, I mean, you handle pressure really well, You laugh at things, it's just that you're a little bit misinformed of things, and I'm going to clarify that tonight. And I hope you're ready.
I look forward to that. If I have misunderstood or been misinformed about anything, I desperately want to be illuminated and elucidated on the subject.
I mean, Matt, nothing for nothing. Look, you're a sharp guy.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the things you say is the truth,
mm-hmm.
and I wanted to tell you that. But there has been some things just a little off base here, and I'm going to clarify that tonight with you and Jenny.
Well,
and I'm going to make myself totally understood.
Oh, well, okay.
I hope,
okay.
I mean, but this has been great. The ratings have been off the charts.
The ratings,
and,
yes.
You need somebody like me to stir the pot.
You think so?
But I'm not doing it on purpose, believe me. I wanted a future in radio.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I did not want to stir the pot to start a violent confrontation, which these things happen on the radio, and they produce ratings. You said so yourself in the car. You admitted it.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what people like you and I, now you got your stuff together. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping to get my stuff together through you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the honest truth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say, that Matt's this and Matt's that. I was trying, but, look, we come from different backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
People in New Hampshire and New York with different people. I represent old school. I like what you said when I'm a throwback from 1974. That was like the nicest thing anybody ever told me. I mean, you're really inflating my ego here, Matt.
Well, I think what I said is you're like a 64-year-old man who time traveled here from 1974. Yes.
But you're right. I like it.
No, you do. All right.
I think it's great.
Well,
I do represent the old school.
Well.
And there was nothing wrong with the old school. I mean, I may even be old enough to be your father. I don't know. You were talking about your old man.
You certainly are.
He's 74 years old. I'm about 10 years behind him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee you, Matt, nobody looks and talks the way I do at 64. Here's how people do in New Hampshire or any other state at 64. I mean, I'm a unique talent for my age. And I believe in Jesus.
Oh, well.
And he has granted me this wonderful-looking face and energy.
I'm
Jesus, off the charts, bro.
Jesus was, I know it's cliche to say it, but Jesus was Jewish, right?
Yeah, but he loved everybody. And it's a shame that he got crucified because he got crucified by his own people. Why do you think that when I was in my village one day and I was trying to, pick up chicks, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was wearing my rock and roll cross,
this
woman got offended. She thought I was like Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what's the problem with my cross? She said, well, not only are you wearing one, you're wearing two. I said, well, what's wrong with Christianity? She turned her back on me and put her hand so I could see the back of her hand and walked away, like a typical rich woman would do. That doesn't want to confront the truth. Maybe she was Jewish. I don't know. I mean, they are offended by the cross. Now, why do you think that is, Matt? You an expert in religion?
I'm not an expert in religion, but I do know for a fact, just from Jewish people that I've known, and as you know, Jenny is Jewish. I know that. Jenny, for example, is not offended by the cross at all. She doesn't believe in it, but she's not offended by it.
Right. Well, that's cool. There's nothing wrong. I mean, there was an organization once called Jews for Jesus. You remember them, right?
The Messianic Jews, yes. Yeah, they're a thing.
So there were Jews that believed in Jesus. But we don't go messing with them, do we?
I don't go messing with anybody. I don't. Everybody can believe what they want. Everybody can listen to whatever kind of music they want. Everybody can be who they want. We're all just people. That's how I look at it.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's true to a certain extent, but we'll talk about that in tonight's show. But if I can get enough time, I'm gonna do like speed dating. I'm gonna get to Charles.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna get to you. Then I'm gonna get to Jenny, and we're gonna break it up in 5-minute intervals. So this way we have enough time for a response and a call. Which I think is brilliant of me.
Hey,
and everybody's got me as a mental case.
Well, I have no problem sitting back and letting you talk. So you don't have to worry. I won't be interrupting you.
Yeah, but I'm not going to bash you because, I do like you because you're cool under fire. And that's what I admire. I mean, I'm not here to kiss your butt, but I'm just telling you that I like your style. And I know you don't take things real personal. I think you do with your girlfriend. That's understandable.
Well,
but
yeah.
I'm going to clarify that tonight, where she's going to be eating off my hands.
Wow.
Because that's the type of guy I am.
She's not going to be there, by the way. I don't know if you're.
Oh, I thought she was going to tune in.
No, she's not. No, I will be there. She will not. Well, I don't know if she'll be listening.
Okay.
I don't know if she'll be listening, but
so
she
then,
won't be.
You could represent her.
She won't be participating.
Because I like to address the misunderstanding. And it was a misunderstanding. I don't care what anybody says. It was a big misunderstanding.
Well,
and I'm smart enough and bold enough to admit that there was a misunderstanding. I ain't apologizing for nothing. Because I think what was taken out of my words was context.
Really?
So
okay. Well,
I'm gonna fight like this, like the Beastie Boys. I'm gonna fight for my right to party.
Well, I would be lying if I told you I'm not intrigued to hear what you have to say this evening on Charles's show. I am. I'm intrigued. You got me.
Oh, I thought you said you weren't. Okay.
No, I am. I
what's
said
the point of being on the show if you're not intrigued?
I said I would be lying if I said I wasn't intrigued to hear what you have to say.
Right. I'm sorry. The connection's a little low.
Yeah.
But, that's cool. Because, and I didn't work this out with my therapist. I decided to work this out on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And my producer encouraged me. I don't know if he's listening, but, he tells me what to do.
He does, huh?
Which he shouldn't sometimes, because I have a right to change my mind. I wasn't going to be on the show. But he said, look, you better go on the show. I said, all right, I'll think about it.
Okay.
And I said, this is good, because I'm not going to be known as a coward. I ain't no coward. If I was, I wouldn't be calling your show right now, if I was a coward.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, I talked to your. I know who you mean when you say your producer there, Jonesy.
Yeah, producer.
I had a phone conversation with him once, and he seemed like
a great producer. By the way,
seemed like
I think he shocked Charles a little bit.
Very nice
He
man.
didn't think I had a producer.
Right.
I still may not have a producer after today. I don't really know. I'm looking for one. But if John wants to be a part of the team, he's certainly more than welcome. As anybody else who wants to be a part of my team. Because I am looking for a team. Like you have a team. See, I what's that word? Not admire. It's another word. Like you have a team at WMNH.
Yeah.
I mean, you come, you're fully packaged. You didn't ask for it. It just happened because you're on the terrestrial radio.
Well, whatever has happened because I've really worked hard and made the effort.
I know that.
Yeah. It didn't just happen.
You know, you're
Nothing
to be admired because you work hard.
Thank you.
But I think, and I have to be honest with you, I think I've given you some real big attraction. You know, like everybody now is interested in our beef.
Some people are. Some people are. Some people aren't. Some people are actually repelled by it, and some people are really interested in it.
Well, I think that the people are interested in it because thanks to you, I've gotten more hits on my Crazy Joe Show page, and I think I've gotten like 180 looks.
Oh, I believe that.
That's amazing.
I believe that.
Because I haven't gotten any hits at all. I've been struggling, and I am still struggling. And that's why I was trying to partner up with you. And I was going to do a legitimate show, clean, because it's your gig, it's your station, it's your IPM, it's your WMHA. You know, I was going to abide by the rules.
Yeah.
I usually don't do that.
Right.
I usually do it. I mean, I have a website. I could do the show, streaming. I could do anything I want. I got the power, baby. But, you know, I wanted to change a little bit in the sense I wanted to work with people. I usually don't work with people like yourself or other people, you know.
But do you know, and maybe we'll talk about this tonight on Charles's show. So, but I'll present the question now, and maybe you can think about it if you don't want to answer it right now. But the question but the question is this: do you realize? Are you cognizant of how much you limit your own opportunities to work with other people when you do these?
Oh, absolutely.
When you do these videos on Facebook Live, where you
listen, I have, you know, I mean, I've had my share of situations like this that totally I lost. But I got to stick to my guns. I'm the new talent now. I'm the new Howard. Okay, I'm the new man. I represent the people. I represent the working poor. I represent the people who are oppressed. There's a lot of people that are being charged with crimes that they shouldn't be charged with because they don't have good legal representation. I want to change all that. I want to bring back rock and roll. So because I have that agenda, I'm on my way to being the top dog in radio. And if anybody has a problem with that, I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel.
But you...
yes, to your question, absolutely.
Yeah, because when you say...
Listen,
when you say if
you're smart enough to realize what the real deal is with me, you know, you might pass that by in discrepancies. You might pass that by. You might. It depends how smart you are. If you can see the big picture here, you're not seeing the whole big picture. See, because I haven't really presented the big picture. Tonight, I'm going to present the big picture. And if people understand it, great. If they don't, well, what can I tell you?
So
it's not going to stop me from achieving my goals.
So there's something, just so I'm clear, there's something to all of this that I'm missing, is what you're saying. There's something...
I believe so.
I'm not seeing.
Well, yeah, of course you're not seeing it because we haven't been intimate to talk. I have your number. You have my number. I've tried to talk to you privately, so you can share your thoughts and your doubts and whatever negativity you have toward me. But we haven't had that opportunity. See, we're doing everything on public forums, which is really not the place to do things. We should talk privately.
But it's hard
because if I have a problem with someone, I want to talk to them either in person or on the phone. I'm not into this email text crap. Too many people hide behind that nonsense.
Yeah.
And I think Mike Pelletella, who's one of my biggest allies, I hate to bring his name, but I think he would agree with that. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on Mike's attitude.
Well, it's hard to get past those videos that you make on your...
No, those videos are done for a purpose. I love doing them. I get a chance to sound off, and it's a sounding board for me.
But what?
I don't like society the way it's turning out. I don't like the fact that our freedom of speech is being negated. I don't like this woke community. They took off Gone with the Wind. They took off all these cop shows. For what? I mean, that's a violation of our rights. I mean, we're turning into China rather than turning into America. I got a big problem with that, and I ain't going to change my attitude on that.
Have you been to China? Because I don't think we're turning into China.
No. China's bad.
Mm-hmm.
They even charge you for the bullet. When they're going to kill you, the family's charged with the bullet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally against communism, Marxism. I believe in red, white, and blue and what it stands for. But we're getting away from the Constitution that our fathers wrote back in whatever year, George Washington time. And a lot of that stuff that's we the people and all that, it's just become a bunch of nonsense. And I know there's people out there who would agree with that. Now, in a nutshell.
Dirk Don in the chat room is wondering, so you believe in freedom of speech, but you actually threatened to sue him.
Well, because he had no business putting up that I was a racist, which I will clear up tonight's show.
I'm very intrigued to hear you clear that up.
It's a definition of character. He doesn't know me from Adam. He only knows what you told him. See, you antagonized a lot of these people. Plus, these people need hits. They need publicity. So, of course, they're going to say things that are lies. So it can make their media company or whatever they're, significant. This is the most exciting thing that guy's ever done because of me.
He's done some great stuff.
And,
I don't know if this
you
is...
too, in a way, because we kind of forged this little relationship we have. Whether you admit it or not, we do have a relationship, for better or for worse.
But how?
Remember the vows of marriage, right?
But isn't he just, if someone is just taking your video and saying, look, this is what this guy says, here.
My video was
your own
not...
words. Your own words.
Say that again, the last part.
Your own words. If someone takes your own words and says, look, this is
there
what...
was nothing racist or anti-Jewish in anything I said. It was done in comedy. I'm a comedian. I'm an artist. You see, you guys are from out of state. This is the whole problem. You don't understand the New York style.
Mm-hmm.
This is the New York and America in general, but New York is the greatest experiment in the last 21st century. We have millions of people here in New York, all kinds of nationalities. I get along with everybody usually. I have black friends. Give me a freaking break. I hate the rap community. I don't like what they did. You're right. You said something, I think it was in your car, that Crazy Joe hates the hip-hop rap crap, and I do. And I'm going to stand that 1,000%.
Uh-huh.
I may be diplomatic about what I said about, to offend Jenny because of her heritage or whatever. But I said nothing wrong, really. I said this is the way New Yorkers are. We live with the Jewish community, Italian community, the black community. And let me tell you something. Everybody is prejudiced. Everybody is a racist. Everybody.
Oh, it's a cop-out.
People say they're not. They're full of crap.
That's such
a...
That's, Joe, that's such a cop-out when people say that. That's not true. It's not true. But
what's not true?
That whole everybody's racist thing. That's a
cop-out,
dude.
I got that quote from a girlfriend of mine, who lives on a very diversified area of upstate where she's got black neighbors, she's got Jewish neighbors, and everybody. Listen, when I did this job, and I'm not going to say what I did, this woman was from another state, maybe Nebraska, Kansas, who cares, right?
Mm-hmm.
She goes in, she tells me, I wasn't prejudiced until I came and lived in New York. Then I became prejudiced. But it's not prejudice where, we're starting neo-Nazi parties and all that crap, We're not doing that. Or Ku Klux Klan. We're not doing that.
Well, that's a relief. I'm glad to hear that.
No, that's extremism. I'm not into it. Look, I don't talk about politics because of that point.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is that New York breeds that type of attitude. Matt, nothing for nothing, my brother, but you don't live in New York. You don't know what New York is. You think by visiting you think you know New York. You don't. You have to live there for centuries and know what the population is all about. And it does breed sometimes borderline racist or prejudice.
It's an awfully liberal city for being full of racists. I don't quite understand that.
You don't understand what?
How it can be such a racist place when it's such a liberal
it's not
city.
Racist. It's just that people know what neighborhoods they can go to, what neighborhoods they should stay away from.
Well,
what is the crime statistic?
That's just being street smart. That's not racism. That's being street smart. I mean, there's neighborhoods in Manchester.
People that
I don't want
perpetuate the crime, are the other side. Most of them. But like I said, I got black friends. I play basketball with them.
Yeah.
They call me.
Oh.
I made a new friend, young black guy, because I play ball.
You have black friends. Why didn't you say so?
No, I got black friends. So what? As a matter of fact, I had a surrogate. This is a shocking news. Hot off the Crazy Joe Show newsroom. I had a surrogate father who was black, and he was like, he meant everything to me, just like your adopted child there.
Yeah. So
same thing.
So you've got.
You're shocked to hear that, huh?
I am actually. But so is it more like you got kind of an Archie Bunker thing going where you don't have any?
I don't know about Archie Bunker. I relate
hate?
to Archie Bunker. I think I love the character because there's in that time period and maybe today, I don't know because I haven't interviewed people in New York City, but I think Archie Bunker, there is a bit of Archie Bunker in all of us, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I really don't think that's true. But I do love All in the Family. I think it's the greatest sitcom in the history of television, in my opinion. But
right, but you don't have a problem because, see, today your leftist friends, the liberal friends, permit that show. I'm surprised it's still playing on cable. That's probably the next show to go because he did use certain, words against certain ethnic groups.
You couldn't do that show today.
Like the Orientals and stuff like that. I'm surprised it's still on the air.
We call them
but
Asians,
this is real
Joe.
life, Matt. New York is real life. We're not fake. We're not phony. We'll tell you where it's at, and if we're bothered by a particular group of people, then we have to acknowledge that group. We're not saying that everybody in that group is bad, because that's obviously not the case with me. I had a surrogate father. I have friends.
But you're contradicting yourself, Joe. This is one of the...
No, I'm not contradicting
you are.
nothing. You just want to turn everything around to your
No,
favor.
listen. Let me explain where I see the contradiction. Because on the one hand, you're saying you have problems with certain quote-unquote groups, and yet you also acknowledge...
New York City, where the crime rate is now out of control. What about that, Matt? What about all the people behind the shooting?
Just
Are they
open your mind.
Irish? Are they
Joe,
Italian? Are they Jewish?
Joe, open your mind for a second. I'm trying to make a very...
No, I'm asking you a very deep question.
Well, you didn't.
You can't answer it.
No, you didn't let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
I want you to open your mind to what I'm saying. You in one breath you say this is what I see as the illogic of racism or any kind of prejudice. On the one hand, you say you have problems with specific groups, but then you also acknowledge that there are people within those groups with whom you get along, which therefore leads me to ask this question. Does it really have anything to do with quote unquote groups, or is it just some people are good, some people are not so good, but people are people regardless of how much skin pigmentation they're genetically assigned or what accent they speak with or whatever.
Well, that's
people
what I
are
just
people.
said before. If you listen to what I said they're good and bad in every group.
Right. Then how can you? But logically,
I didn't say that everybody was a criminal.
I'm glad. Right. Okay. Great. But then, so saying there's good and bad in every group, if we want to use that word, then how is it that you have problems with specific quote unquote groups if there's good and bad in any group? How can it be
because
about
the majority
groups?
of them are committing all the crimes.
Oh boy, I had
the majority of them. If you look at your prison system, what is the population of the prison system?
Do you know why?
Getting into specific details.
Do you know why, Joe? Do you know why?
80% of that group represents prisoners. Maybe in Alaska it's a little different. Colorado, well, I don't know. Those states, North Dakota.
Do you know why?
But here on the East Coast and in good part of the Midwest, the prison population is them.
Well,
I like to say the word, but I'm
don't
sure
know.
you'll get offended.
Yeah, I'll get offended. I don't think
you're not in touch with reality, bro.
Well,
you're not in touch with reality. You're in denial.
Do you want to know?
But that doesn't mean I don't like you. I love these discussions, but the thing is, I don't know who got into your head, because you are young and you are inexperienced, and you're not looking at the world the way an older guy like your father and me would look at the world. We've been around.
Joe,
we know what
my
we're talking
father,
about.
Joe, my father, trust me, does not look at the world the way you do. I want to be very clear, especially in
but
case
if we had a discussion like we're having now, not that he wouldn't agree with everything I said, but
no,
he would agree with
not.
some of the stuff I'm saying.
He would not. He would not agree with you.
Really?
Yeah, I guarantee you he would not agree with you. And I want to make sure I make that clear in case he's listening, because trust me, he would not agree with you. But Joe, the reason we have so many black Americans in prison is because it has.
You said it. I didn't. See, I'm trying to be nice.
Sure. No, I'll say it. Yes. A big factor in that is we live in a country where we put people in federal prison for possession and use of cannabis. And what happens, and statistically speaking, and there's plenty of data to back this up, what happens to a black American if they're caught with a substance that our elected lawgivers and overlords have decided they're not allowed to have versus what happens to a white American who is caught with that same thing. Very different outcomes in terms of how they're treated by the criminal justice system. And that's why so many black Americans are in prison. If you
there was a black guy that just did 25 years in prison and he got out, and I'm glad that he did. And I was cheering for him.
Well,
and,
good.
We come in all colors, in the criminal justice system.
Well, that's my point.
But the majority of them commit crimes in their neighborhoods. They do the shootings. They do the drug selling. They have the gangs. I mean, what do you think rap music is all about? It's gang-oriented.
It's very reductive, and not all rap music is about that. Hip-hop is no different than rock music, whereas you have many genres and subgenres. It's
See, rock and roll is about John Lennon and peace and love. You think the hip-hoppers and the rappers are representing peace and love when they use the N-word 50,000 times, and there's a double standard with that. So in other words, they can say it, but we can't.
Oh.
So where's the justice there? Where's the fairness there? Where's your liberalism when it comes to fairness? So if we say the word, we're racist and prejudiced, but they can say the word, in their songs. They're blasted, by the way, at 115 decibels to cause noise pollution. And we have to hear the N-word in every song. And I walk the streets, bro. I know what's going on in the streets. And I hear it constantly. Yeah. And I wish I could, but if I said something, they'd beat me up.
Yeah.
Right, because they're violent. They're very violent people.
Whoa.
I mean, I'm not exactly white, I mean, I consider myself white, but I'm Hispanic. But I believe in human decency. You see what I'm saying? I believe that people should all be the same, decent, not law-abiding citizens. But that's not going to happen with them, and that's not going to happen with, Colombians or Mexicans or whatever, although Mexicans are very hard-working people. I know because I see them.
Yeah.
And I speak Spanish to them. Hola, ¿cómo está, amigo?
Oh, that's...
So I hope I was able to debunk, whether I do it or not,
Joe,
the accusement of me being racist and anti-Semitic. Matter of fact, I went to Jewish camp, and I almost converted. I had a yarmulke on. I wish I had the picture. I would put it on the internet.
I would love to see
with
that.
my campmates. And they were bullies, by the way. One of them hung me upside down. They put a frog in my bed. I mean, come on. I thought these were nice Jewish kids,
Well, that's... I don't approve of frogs in beds or being hung upside down. Oh,
yeah, by my Jewish campmates. There was like 6 of us in a barracks, and I was in upstate New York. My mother put me with the organization, and I went to a lot of private Jewish schools, and
Oh, well, that's...
even the kids made fun of the principal who had a butt the size of 2 pillows stuck in his pants.
Oh, that's...
And we all laughed at him when he went down the hallway. Actually, it was a very attractive butt, I have to say.
Oh.
Very feminine for a man.
Yeah. Joe.
Right. So you see, there's a lot of sense of humor in my life because I'm a New Yorker. See, you guys, you take things too freaking seriously. You should really check yourselves and listen to a guy like me who's been in New York, who's been in the hood, that knows about all these people, and then you would come to the conclusion that, no, Joe is not racist or anti-Semitic. So that's a very serious thing to accuse somebody. If I had millions of dollars, believe me, I sue that kid in a heartbeat, and I win. because he has, just like you said in your car. Well, I'm sorry, you didn't say that in your car. Charles said that. He has a mental incapacitation. Well, he's not qualified. He's not a psychiatrist. He's not trained. And the fact that I go to therapy and I shared it with you, Matt, on your show, you should be thanking me because this was like mental awareness, kind of like a mental awareness week. And I love seeing my therapist. And I'm not perfect, as obviously you could see,
right?
But I'm working on my issues, and I'm trying to work with people like you, who normally I wouldn't even go near because I've become look, I was forced to talk about this politics and the leftists and the right and the Trump and all that crap. I'm not a political guy. I'm an entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
I like to make people laugh. But there's so much. I mean, with the political correctness today, I'm against it. And to me, that violates our constitutional rights, the free speech, the First Amendment, buddy.
But. So why don't people get to talk about how they'd prefer? In other words, you want to be able to say whatever you want to. Why can't other people say that they don't like what you say?
No, they could do that. I never said that I would put a foot in their neck
right.
and say, no, you can't say that because I don't agree. To agree to disagree is the mature way of talking about things that we don't agree on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand that?
Well, I agree with your statement. Sure. But
because I'm smart. I'm smarter than you. Sorry, Matt. I had to put a little dig in there in your rib cage.
Okay. So do you understand, though? I was starting to ask you this before. Do you understand that the videos that you make, whether you think what you're saying is racist or not, whether you think what you're saying is anti-Semitic or not, that making those damages any possibility of anyone ever wanting to work with you professionally, and therefore you're only before I saw those where you particularly the stuff about talking about Jenny and her heritage, and I had no idea that you had that in you because
I never used the K word, and I never said anything derogatory. I mean, look. It depends on what you're saying. I take responsibility, but this is part of the narrative of how it is to live in New York City with certain groups of people, and those certain groups of people have never done the right things. They have all the money, they have all the power. We're talking about Congress. We're talking about the what the hell is that? The Federal Reserve. And look.
Federal Reserve?
Listen,
what?
I don't care. It doesn't affect me, you see? But it offends people. So I'm talking for those people that get offended that certain groups of people have more power than another group of people. Why can't you're a proud Irishman, right? Why isn't your people in charge of the Federal Reserve?
Honestly, Joe.
Why can't it be an Irish guy?
I never think about it. I'm so
well, think about it, Matt. This is a heavy statement I'm making. Come on, man.
It doesn't even enter
philosophy.
It doesn't even enter my head. I don't even think about being Irish. I'm Irish and German. It never even really occurs to me.
Well, that's a great nationality. I mean,
I guess
they did a movie, The Streets of New York, with the Irish,
sure.
The Kennedy Hall, and there was all this corruption, But I'm just saying that there's a majority that rules this country in both political, financial, and everything. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even mind hooking up with the Hasidim and asking them to sponsor the Crazy Joe Show. And if I had to turn Jewish, I already have a great Jewish name, Joseph Martinez, because of my experience in Jewish camp.
Mm-hmm.
I qualify. I would love for them to sponsor me. They have all the money.
Yeah.
That's not anti-anything. That's just a fact.
Well,
you got to get your facts straight.
When
you
say they have all the money, you're perpetuating a stereotype.
No, I'm perpetuating the God's honest truth, and there's a lot of people out there, hundreds of, not millions of people, who would agree with. Who are whatever. They would. Oh shit, my cell phone.
Oh, can't say
I'm
that.
sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that.
I caught it.
I'm not answering it.
Okay.
It's probably one of your fans.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is, it sounds like a stereotype, but it's not. It's the reality of the situation of our country. The different groups that came here from Europe, including the Jewish people, who have, different, in their blood. But,
in their blood.
They're God's chosen people, right? So they're acting like they're supposed to act. They're very powerful. You look at the Roman days.
Yeah, I live.
They create all that problems in the Roman government, and then they got that guy, whatever his name is, Pompous, whatever, to crucify Jesus.
Yeah.
Now that was a totally political thing. That's why it's not good to talk about religion, politics, and whatnot.
I can tell
you. Stay away from that.
Yeah.
But I was on a temper tantrum that day, and
that day.
But I never said anything derogatory. But you find it derogatory. I don't find it derogatory. It was just part of the. I was very angry, and I'll talk about that tonight on Carl's show. Why I was angry with Jenny, and I'll just devote maybe 2 or 3 minutes to that, and that's it. And why I said what I said. But I never called her the K word. I mean, you can't use words against Jewish people. Now, with black people, you can, because there's a lot of different puns you could use. But trust me when I say this. This is the New York style of living. We all hate each other, and it's amazing we all get along, and we do in this city. We really do. If it wasn't for the George Floyd thing, we wouldn't have had all these riots and stuff.
What?
We would have been living in peace and harmony. But that really provoked a huge sort of like a revolution. And I know, like you said before, the blacks do get treated unfairly in the criminal justice system.
Yes.
I agree with that 1,000,000%.
Well, good. I'm glad.
It's how you conduct yourself in this country is how you get treated. Because I guarantee you the Italians are not treated that way. The Irish and Germans are not treated that way. The Swedes, and we have lots of different European nationalities in New York.
Right.
And they don't start no crap. They're well-behaved, law-abiding citizens. Why can't the other group be like that? But they don't want to. Like guys like Sharpton, he's racist against white people. Well, if he's a real leader, he should talk to his people and say, listen, we need to be in stores. We need to start business. Just like they gave that story in Tulsa, where I heard it was the Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that black people should aim to do.
Well, there's a lot of...
like Tulsa, the Black Wall Street.
There's a lot
now, what's wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with that, with being a law-abiding citizen?
Of course not.
And helping your people instead of spewing out this hatred that Sharpton does?
There's a lot of very positive black role models. There's also a lot of very bad white people. It's got this whole thing about groups. It's, there's good people, there's bad people, and there's a million different kinds of people in between. It's got nothing to do with groups or demographics or any of it. I feel like you know that. I don't know
why you believe that.
You believe it. You just
certain
don't.
Groups are more responsible for the crime in big cities like New York, Chicago. They even thought about bringing the National Guard in. So in other words, you're saying that those people are just people.
You know what I think, Joe? And I mean this, I believe it or not, I mean this as sort of a quasi-compliment. I think you believe it. You're just too stubborn to accept it because you acknowledged that good and bad people come in all colors. You acknowledged that earlier. Right. So the fact that you acknowledge that, I think I'm right, and you're too stubborn to admit it.
I'm just looking at the statistics. I watch TV every day. I watch Eyewitness News. I watch about another shooting, another murder, another drug deal, another gang from Brooklyn. These people are notorious. Don't tell me that they're like everybody else, because they're not. And these people are young men and women that should be in college. They should be getting educated. They should be entrepreneurs to help their people. No. They choose the easy way out. Sell drugs, shoot people, murder people, break into some old woman's house that's 96 years old and rape and kill her. If it happened to you, you would have a different perspective. perspective. I don't think I mean, for your friends, you say, "Oh, well, they're all people." But if it really happened to you, that somebody was murdered, you would get very angry at that person, and you might say things that I'm saying.
I would get very angry at that person, right? But I have the sophistication not to paint an entire quote unquote group of people as being that person. And there's partly because there's, I hate to tell you, Joe, there's a whole hell of a lot of people who look like me and you who also commit crime and do all kinds of violent things in this country.
Yeah, but we don't see them in the news.
I do.
I mean, Chicago a couple years ago, that was a hot zone.
Sure.
They were going to bring in the National Guard. It wasn't the Irish or the Italian or the Jewish people committing all these shootings and gang-related drug activity. It was them. You don't think there's Irish and Jewish and all kinds of other people involved in crime? You really don't? Listen, if you watch the news like I do, especially a news organization in New York City, which is the capital of the whole world.
Yeah.
You know New York is the capital of the whole world.
Yes.
Everything that happens in New York, next to L.A. and Hollywood. And you don't see... Here, I'm going to be an eyewitness news report. And in the news today, the Italian and the Irish decided to mug an 87-year-old woman in broad daylight.
So, Joe, let me just throw something out there. Abigail Gem in the chat room raises a point. She says, Joe, mass shooters are 98% white men. Explain. Because by your logic, all white men are mass shooters. By your logic, the entire group, you and I are mass shooters, according to your logic. Right?
Yes, there was some, especially that guy in Las Vegas that opened up with his AK-47.
Yeah, 98% of them are white men. Yeah,
but you see, these are rare occurrences. They're
not that rare, buddy.
Life. Maybe today people going nuts and people going crazy. And this is political divide, and this is political correctness, and the leftists, who are starting all this problems that are trying to sequence of this and sequence of that. Look, yes, that's true, but they're not the majority. They're isolated.
They're the majority of mass shooters.
Went crazy, like that guy in Las Vegas. He went completely nuts.
Yeah, the majority of mass shooters are 98% white men. They are the majority of mass shooters.
I believe that.
Well, yeah, you believe that? That's good because that's a real statistic.
I believe that to an extent. But I do believe that
we're all mass shooters.
You're right. But the quality of life crimes that are happening every day in this city, the shootings, innocent people in Times Square getting shot, and I don't know what the beef is with, but it doesn't matter what their beef is. They have no business carrying guns and shooting innocent people. And unfortunately, I don't make the news, okay? I'm just an observer. And I see it every freaking day in New York City and places like Chicago and Philadelphia. They have a massive crime over there. I mean, they're going to have to bring in the feds, And I don't know what they're going to do with have them arrested. Look, when you carry gun, you have no good intention. That's my philosophy.
Whoa, wait a minute. So you oppose the Second Amendment? You don't think you should be? You don't think you have a right to?
No. I never said. Listen, don't put words in my mouth, okay?
I didn't. You just said if you're carrying a gun, you have no.
The Second Amendment is for law-abiding citizens, no matter who they are, what nationality, what color.
Okay, agreed. I agree.
We have the right, but I'm talking about the illegal guns that the other side is using to commit crimes on a daily basis.
The other side. Oh, boy.
Excuse me?
Oh, Joe. There has been a couple
That's okay, Matt. You're entitled to your... Listen, that's why we're together.
There have been a couple of moments I saw a glimmer.
I've seen your show. I've seen your philosophy, and I shake my head. I said, this guy is so misunderstood. Because, Matt, you never lived in New York. You never lived in a big city. Manchester don't cut it.
Did you say I'm misunderformed?
Come to New York City. Go to Brooklyn, New York. I got some great areas for you to visit.
Yeah.
You'll be out of there in 2 minutes.
Wayne Noel was asking in the chat room, by the way, what about the Gambino crime family in New York?
Well, the Italians have been doing crime that's going back thousands of years in Sicily. That's their thing, Cosa Nostra.
Yeah,
if they want to know more about the Italians, go to YouTube and see my man Sammy the Bull Guarano.
Yeah, do we
and
not?
You know why I like him? He committed 19 murders, but you know why I like him?
Whoa.
Because he's real. He's a street guy.
Oh, is that why?
I love street guys.
Yeah.
There's another guy, Jimmy Candor, I don't know, whatever, a Bath Avenue story about all the wise guys. You know, they started off as gangs. Yeah, they did the same thing that the brothers did. But you know what? Did you ever see innocent people get shot? When they shoot each other, it's for business. It's nothing personal. And I didn't say that was good, but you know I understand it.
Oh, boy.
I wish I was in the mob.
Well,
I'd be a messenger boy.
Well,
They're probably paying me like $250 a week, you know, to deliver messages.
sure.
But seriously, I would never do that.
Oh, good. Well, that's reassuring, Joe.
I didn't want you to think I had that type of...
All right.
No, but I admire the wise guys. I love the Italians. I'm an Italian worshiper.
Okay.
And in my own way, I'm a Jewish worshiper.
Uh-huh.
Because they fascinate me. Israel fascinates me. That a small country can overcome a six-day war with the odds against them. That's fantastic. Of course, they had help from America. But that's amazing. I want to go to Israel.
Oh, good.
I really
All
do.
right. All right.
I want to hit the beaches. I want to pick up some Israeli women.
Uh-huh.
How's that sound? For a racist and an anti-Semitic.
Yeah, but...
Now, don't say those things, Matt, because you see, that guy, your buddy there, in Abrogate Media, whatever, you know,
Arrogant
I can't say
Media.
the word, obviously, for terrestrial reasons, but,
Yeah.
you know, this guy could be sued. I'm serious.
So what would you sue him for exactly?
For definition of character.
For
and
definition of
calling
character.
me something that I'm not.
You feel he's
Because
defined
I have plenty
your
of friends,
character?
I have plenty of backup, I have plenty of people that know me for centuries. And if they had to testify in court, they would say,
you a vampire?
Mr. Joe is not that. He's a Hispanic himself. How is he going to be a racist or anti-Semitic when he's a minority? Not that the Jewish people are minority, but, you know, he's a minority.
Well, when
He's not David Duke. He's not Hitler. Far from it, baby. Far from it.
Now, and you don't.
But I will give my opinions on groups of people that have been in our city for centuries, conducting business, which I think does not benefit people like me or regular people. You know, listen, power, money, and influence. Remember that. That's the New York lifestyle, and it excludes people like me. This is why I'm struggling so hard to be an outrageous comedian, philosopher, whatever you want to call it, you know, social commentator.
I think
because I've lived the life of New York City. I could write a book.
I understand.
On my experiences of New York City. That's why you guys call me racist and anti-Semitic.
I understand.
Because you take all my context out of context.
You
don't know what it is to live in New York. You'll never know.
I think I'm finally getting it, Joe. Tell me if I have this right.
I hope so.
You're a.
Because the thing is, I'm not.
You are
I can talk BS, right?
You're
because
a repressed.
It takes a BS to know a BS.
You're a repressed
right?
white man, and the white male is under assault in this country, and you're tired of being held down. As a white man in America, you're tired of being held down. I get it. I mean,
we are being held down.
I don't agree. Believe
From
me,
a lot of opportunities.
I know.
In other words, the pot of gold is not being shared equally to the people who deserve it. Like, in other words, I wanted to my radio, right? This is how I met you.
Yeah.
You think I could go to the Small Business Administration and ask for a freaking loan so they can help me set up a station, or maybe one of those artsy-fartsy groups that you like so much? You think they'll say, hey, Mr. Joe, here's $10,000, start a station. You're a minority. I get nothing. Zero from anybody.
Yeah.
If somebody would help me, maybe I'd change my attitude a little bit, but not much.
I think you need to change the attitude first, and then you'll get more help.
Well, then, if I can get $1,000 to start my internet and hire a bunch of staff and pay them, maybe I would.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But nobody's going to give you
if you could arrange that for me, Matt,
but
that'd be mighty white of you.
But nobody's going to give you $1,000 if you're making videos where you perpetuate
listen,
anti-Semitic
that's why
stereotypes.
I don't need the videos. I don't care about the videos. I'm going to continue doing my expression of how I feel about this country, how I feel about the liberals, how I feel about the legal correctness of my First Amendment's rights for speech.
Yeah.
I'm still going to continue that. If nobody wants to give me a dime, so be it. Because I already had an inheritance. I bought my studio. I'm already wired up. I'm ready to go.
Wait a minute.
I hope that one day, after this conversation tonight with Charles there, you know,
but how
I'm going
did
to
you
plug my show on your show if that's okay with you.
But how did
and
you?
And then I can have more people wanting to. The mentality of New Hampshire. Hang him.
I don't understand something though. How did you get this? So you got this studio together. You've got everything you need. How did you? But how did you do that as a repressed white male who's been held down? How by all this unfairness?
No, this was a private thing. This was through an inheritance that I received, and I have the right to buy what I want. What are you telling me? I don't have the right to buy what I want?
Of course you do. I'm just confused. So how are you? As you're a white male in America. You've got the whole world against
I'm Hispanic,
you.
Actually.
And yet, okay. Well, you're a Hispanic male in America. How did you? And yet you got an inheritance. I mean, how does that even happen when all these people? Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Legitimately, you would have got it too if it involved your family.
I'm just amazed that. Oh wow! All right. Well, hey.
No, this was through private. In other words, this was off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to the artsy fartsy. I didn't go, please give me money for a studio. God is on my side, believe it or not.
Wow.
Okay, and God said Joe is going to have a studio, and he's going to be the most famous radio guy since Howard Stern.
God said that.
And God knows what I say, but he's got a sense of humor. He knows what's in my heart. But you see, Matt, this is your problem when your little studio audience over there and your fans and Charlie Richard. You don't know what's in my freaking heart. So you're going to say bad things against me based on what I say, which is bad. I don't think it's bad at all. It's just part of what I do and what I say because I am more mature now than I was maybe 10 years ago. This whole radio thing with the technology and everything, now I got a voice. I always had a voice. I always had an opinion, but now I could share it with the world for good or bad.
Yeah.
I just hope nobody touches me because, you know, that's not gonna go down either.
Well,
I was well, I'm not going to bring this up, but I was harassed, and I'm not going to say by who, but I was harassed.
Okay.
And I made a police report about it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tolerate people.
I heard about that.
You know, coming after me or wanting to beat me up.
Nobody wants
to
come after you and beat you up.
I never said anything about violence. If you noticed that, I never.
I have noticed that. Yes.
Violence talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mouth hurts people's feelings, and if they can't handle that, oh well, go see a therapist like I do.
Why? So that your therapist, and then we got to let you go in a minute, Joe. But your therapist.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Listen, Matt. Let me thank you.
Well, yeah. Right.
For giving me this opportunity to blow my foot off. Because I know no matter what I say, it's not going to matter. You guys are going to have your attitudes, and I'm the bad guy.
I don't know. We'll discuss it further on the Charles Richardson show.
I'm looking forward to it, Matt. You have a good one.
All right, Joe. I'll talk to you.
I'm going to be listening now. I'm going to go on my cell phone and listen to you.
Talk to you in a little bit.
You know, I get alerts when your show is on.
Well, very good. Very good.
Isn't that nice of me?
That certainly is. Thank you.
I think you should buy me a present.
I will give it all the consideration it deserves.
Thank you. You have a good day. We'll see you at 7:30. Everybody tune in at 7:30.
Yes.
Charles Richardson. Crazy Joe's going to be on there.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Well, that was, I know a couple people in the chat room complaining, but I just was genuinely interested to see if there's any getting through to him because I saw a couple of openings there. I actually think that deep down, I meant what I said. I mean, you know, you're probably not going to change a 64-year-old man, but I feel like there's a part of him on some level that got what I was saying, but there's probably just no quite getting there. But yes, Crazy Joe is calling in tonight to the Charles Richardson show. I did share that out on social media earlier. I'll be on as well. But we have a call, and this will probably be the last call of the show today because Kyle's coming up live right after me, so got to make sure we have time for the changeover. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Matt, this is Dirk. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Dirk Don of Arrogant Media. How are you?
Hey, I am flabbergasted.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I used to live with a person who had the same kind of mentality that Joe has.
Mm-hmm.
I used to hear him listening to podcasts that were considered to be alt-right, that expressed the same kind of ideals about Jewish people. And Joe is exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
The amount that he would say he's not a racist, and then double down on all the racist things that he's saying.
Yeah.
He used the 1350 argument. That's the kind of stuff that you would get from like Richard Spencer of all people.
Right. Yes. I know.
How did you let this guy be on the phone for as long as he was?
Well, I was interested. Well, first of all, I was surprised. I wasn't expecting him to call, but I was interested to just kind of let him, because I kind of had the feeling early in the call, okay, I'm going to either let him explain himself, because who knows, maybe this has all been a character that he just took way too far. I'll let him explain himself, or I'll let him take more and more rope and let him continue to hang himself. Let's see where it goes. And I genuinely did see a couple of opportunities where I thought maybe I can kind of put something into his head that has a shot at getting through to him a little bit. But probably it was probably a fool's errand on my part. But I had to try, Dirk. I had to try.
No, you did try. You did try, and I listened to almost nothing but gish galloping from him. Like if this is an indication where things are, I think we're going to have a pretty hard time once you're on the next show here.
Yeah.
And I'll be watching.
Yes. Thank you.
Also, Joe, I listened to everything that you said. I had every right to be able to use his words against him.
Oh, of course.
And if he's threatening to sue, he is threatening my family and our finances.
Yes.
So we're not going to take that lightly.
No, nor should you. Agreed.
All right, buddy. Take it easy.
All right, Dirk. Thank you so much for the call, my friend. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right, Dirk Don of Arrogant Media. That was a nice call. And Kyle Heavey is in the house at the news desk. Hello, Kyle.
I mean, I don't know if it was just the thunderstorm that came through that brought the electricity to your show today, or what was going on here. But I am glad that you were able to get the full 2 hours in, because
yes,
and it's kind of has been interesting to listen to from a distance.
Yes. Well, I appreciate too everyone. It was a situation beyond my control, but I appreciate everyone working with me on that. Peter White, of course, who some of you know is not only the morning show host here, but also the program director, and you waiting till 7 to go on. That was very helpful as well. So you're going to be on live 7 to 9, correct?
I think I'm just going to do 7 to 8 because Peter's was really wanting to make sure that something got played from 8 to midnight. So
I didn't know that.
I have enough for the sports world right now is only so exciting in some ways. There's no really Boston teams playing besides the Red Sox, who are in first place. It's great.
Yeah.
But it's not like it was earlier a month or two ago when there was at least 3 teams playing. So
yeah.
So now the sports world is a little bit quiet in my end, and there's, since the 4th of July is this coming up Sunday, I'd rather enjoy my day of celebrating our independence than
yes,
unfortunately being here talking sports. So
right,
that's why I just figured I'd at least get something new on the for Peter's sake, and for my own sake, to at least still get out there and discuss the sports world.
Excellent. Well, yes, and as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna head up to the production studio and upstairs. So that's where I go to upload the show when there's a live show on after me. But while I do that, I'll be of course connecting to the Charles Richardson show, which I did share out on social media earlier, because Crazy Joe's going to be calling into that, and Charles invited me to appear on that as well. And it'll be interesting to continue that discussion with Crazy Joe. Although I
Is
don't...
there swearing allowed in this other show?
Yes.
This could be interesting right there for sure.
Yes, the Charles Richardson Show is strictly online. And so the language can be as vulgar as the situation calls for.
Wow. I kind of... Okay. We'll see what happens at 7:30 then with hearing what might be said or spoken about.
Yes, it'll be very exciting. Lots of exciting things. Well, I'm gonna start to wrap up so we can kind of make sure we have time to change over so Kyle can get on for 7 p.m. Right here on WMNH 95.3. But thank you everyone for joining me on this. It'll be back to the normal time tomorrow, of course, 4 to 6 p.m. But if you get a chance, if you don't get a chance to listen live, you might be tuned in here to hear Kyle's live show. But the Charles Richardson Show, of course, you can always catch it later if you don't get to see it live. But it should be fascinating. Tomorrow here on the program, Easy G Eric Gagnon will be joining us, and Friday I'll be joined in studio by Gracie Gatto. So lots of exciting things. Thank you to everybody who called, including Crazy Joe. Thank you to everybody in the Facebook live chat. Oh, thank you to Gene Simmons from KISS for calling earlier.
Got to appreciate Gene Simmons always taking the time to be able to call your show.
Absolutely.
One of your mentors, and
that's right.
Someone you always looked up to, able to call in and show his support for the Matt Connarton Unleashed. You can't go wrong with that.
That's right.
I don't know if you touched on it, but I make sure you knew that Donald Rumsfeld passed away at 88 years old today.
Yeah.
Global war on terror, through the whole entire 8 years of Bush administration. So
yeah. I know.
Kind of an interesting thought right there of, weapons of mass destruction, how true those were, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
There's a lot. Sure, that's why I'm like, I know you only have so much time in your, but it's definitely an interesting thing overseeing two conflicts that here we are still trying to get our boots off the ground.
Yes.
We'll see what September 11th brings this year.
Yeah.
With 20 years and trying to get out of Afghanistan. So fingers crossed that everything's going to be peaceful on that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap up. So thank you all. I'll see you on the Charles Richardson Show, or stick around for Kyle Heavey here on WMNH. And if you missed any part of today's show, of course, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org and at my website, mattconnarton.com. And stay dry out there. It's supposed to be a golf ball sized hail. So, and don't forget, thank you, Christian Lacoste, DJ Reckless, for calling in.
Bro.
And
you don't. Come on. You gotta do that.
Oh, I didn't realize you were in the studio there, Christian.
I'm everywhere, Matt. Bro, I'm like the fastest person in this town. You don't even understand.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I can get from like the west side over here on my scooter in a matter of at least 4 minutes.
Wow. Well,
no one else can beat me that.
Congratulations on your residency Sunday nights after DJ Midas at the Central Ale House.
Bro, this year has been crazy. This has been the best year of my life. There's been some issues. We live together. Some things, but I just want to thank you, everyone, for showing their support and give me all the love.
Right. Yeah. All right. Very good. All right. I'll talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.